I'm Michael Hockett. As part of the interviewing process to become your lead pastor here at Timberview, I met with Bishop Matt. And at that time, it's kind of intimidating because, of course, Bishop Matt also is Pastor Matt, who founded Timberview. So I'm meeting with this guy, and I sat down with him. One of the first things I said was, I feel like I'm coming to ask if I can date your daughter. And here we are on the far side of the interviewing process, and now it's like an arranged marriage, right? And I'm sure you're thinking, who is this guy? So I thought I'd do just a little bit of an introduction of myself and to help you get to know me. And I thought maybe the best way is just to let you know what the process was that I went through, and that might clarify some things about why they chose me and why I chose to accept and be here. The thing about the stage at Life Center is it's tall.
Oh, yeah.
And I tend to get right out on the edge of it and talk, and it is one of those cases where if you step off that thing, you're going to take a plunge.
Well, Timberview's high enough that you might hurt yourself, but it'd probably be...
Sprain an ankle.
Yeah.
At Life Center, you might get a concussion. So what initially kicked all this thing off is Dennis Jeffrey. Now, a lot of you know Dennis. He's your superintendent of the River Conference. And I showed up after a coffee meeting one day. I think it was a Tuesday afternoon, maybe a Thursday. Doesn't matter. I just showed up in my office, and here it was. There's this email in my inbox, and he's inviting me to apply for the lead pastor position here at Timberview, which I didn't know a whole lot about, honestly, and I certainly didn't know Dennis. I'm thinking, uh-oh, what's this? And then I started reading more detail and realized it's right here in Spokane, and I thought, I really need to pay attention to this. And so I asked my senior pastor, Joe Whitwer, there at Life Center, what do you think? Should I pursue this? And he goes, oh yeah, I know Bishop Matt from out there, and I know the people at Timberview. This is a great church. You really ought to explore this and see where the Lord takes you. So, okay, then we were in for it. So I contacted Dennis back and said, okay, I'll bite, I'm interested. What do you have? And he was coming out. He's going to be in town just the very next week. So we set up a time where he could meet me there at Life Center in the Commons. We sat down and started talking to each other. And well, from there we thought, well, maybe we ought to just come and visit Timberview and worship with you. And a handful of you know this, but Leslie and my family and I, we were all here at the end of September. And it was a very sweet spirit to be here worshiping with you. When we came in, we realized although the church naturally is smaller than Life Center, the feel of it is very similar in terms of you love contemporary worship. We knew all the songs you were singing, and we could join in with you freely. You preach based on the Word, and that's very much a part of our heritage and tradition and what I would like to do as well. And so we knew the church felt like a good fit for us as well. Let me talk to you a little bit about something that happened on the day we were here worshiping with you. Your interim pastor at that time, Art Brown, he called forward the board to come kneel down because, of course, they're in active search for this new lead pastor. And then he asked the congregation to come forward and lay hands on them, just asking God to work through them and give them wisdom in this process and bring just the right person. Well, here I am. I had been worshiping with Eric, but, of course, he went forward with the board. And I was there thinking, wow, okay, what do I do now as I sit out here? This is kind of strange. I thought, I ought to go pray for this person, whoever it's going to be. So I get up there and I lay hands on everybody who's laying hands on the board. And, God's got such a sense of humor. I'm sitting there thinking, talking with him, Lord, I could be literally praying for myself right now as we're all praying for the board to pray for me. This is really surreal. And I get done with the prayer with everybody else. I walk back, and there's Eric's wife, Lisa, just grinning at me like a Cheshire cat because she saw how unusual that moment was too. And now here we are, of course, on the far end of it, and I realized I was actually sitting there praying for myself. So God just has all sorts of ironies in the way he works with his creation, and of course they're quite fun to be a part of, and that was an exciting moment there worshiping with you at Timberview. So we had that last meeting with the board, and both Leslie and I, our hearts were inclined. I mean, we really felt like the Spirit was leading us to move forward here. Part of the hesitation is that I still love Life Center. I mean, I've been with Life Center now for 12 years, love my team there, love the people there, have all sorts of connections. So the question becomes, Lord, do you really want me to go from here to here? Why is that? And as we sat and we thought about that, we prayed about it and talked about it, what we realized is when we look at Timberview, we really see this amazing outcropping of the kingdom of God. And God's working the gospel into your hearts, and he uses that to work it into the community and then, of course, into the world. And it's exciting to see what's happening here in your congregation and where he wants to take you as a people and grow you. And we just naturally want to be part of that and join in with what you're doing here at Timberview. So that's something that makes us really look forward to the new year and being with you. Obviously, there's a little bit of gap here. We're moving into the Thanksgiving season, and then we've got Christmas and New Year's. But at least we get to be with you there during the Christmas season, and we really like that. December 22nd will come, and as the message that day, what we'll actually do is give you our background and our testimony so you can get to know us in a little bit more depth than you're getting here in this video. Then we get to share Christmas Eve with you, and I can't wait to talk about Jesus at that time. And then on December 29th, we'll look a little bit at the new year and have a New Year's message. So all of that is very joyful for me to think about. And then, of course, the new year is like a gift. You know, I guess to get to jump in, boots on, and join with you wholeheartedly. So we'll be with you soon.